From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Wednesday morning. Right now you're taking a live, beautiful look at Yakima. This view coming courtesy of Bi-Mart. And it looks like the skies are already bright this morning. There's going to be a lot of sunshine just like there was for yesterday morning. Visibility not a concern for right now. We'll continue to track that throughout the rest of this morning, but I'm personally not too concerned about it. Now, temperatures are a little bit more, I think concerning is the wrong word to use, but it could be a little frosty out there as we're below freezing, or at the very least at freezing in places like Hermiston, Tri-Cities, Sunnyside, Yakima, and Ellensburg. So in those areas could be a little bit frosty. Here's your day planner forecast for today. By lunchtime, we're going to be into the 50s and 60s, and then at the peak of daytime heating will be up into the 60s and 70s. It is going to be a spectacular day to be outside. We're going to be even warmer for Thursday and Friday. Then some shower and thunderstorm chances for Friday and Saturday. That'll cool us off, and that'll bring us some big-time wind gusts for this weekend, especially in the Kittitas Valley. I'll tell you just how strong some of those could be coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now. And right now on Good Morning Northwest, a warning from Hermiston Police after a bold vape shop burglary, what was stolen, and why they say to be cautious if you're offered a deal that seems too good to be true. And Governor Ferguson signs more than 80 bills into law, including one that could open up more job opportunities for Washington residents. And later, tensions rising in Franklin County as the sheriff sounding the alarm over a last-minute resolution that could shift control of the jail.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning. I'm Josh Colbreth, filling in for Jessica Jalal and Jade Elliott. New this morning, fire crews responded to a house fire Tuesday evening on Jubilee Street in Richland. Take a look at this. At least one person was taken to the hospital after a house fire in Richland late last night. The fire broke out just before 10 p.m. in the 1200 block of Jubilee Street. As firefighters got to the scene, they found heavy smoke and flames coming from the attached garage. At least one person was taken away in an ambulance, but they were alert and talking at the scene. The fire destroyed the garage and at least 2 vehicles inside. There was also damage to the home, and it took fire crews nearly 5 hours to put out the fire in hotspots. The cause of the fire is currently under investigation. And we stick with fire news as Yakima County District 5 units were sent to a structure fire on the 900 block of Upper Bank Lane just after 4:30 on Tuesday morning. Firefighters say a small fire broke out in a single wide trailer. Numerous law enforcement officers were already on scene due to a report of an assault at the same address. Officials say Wapato PD used a fire extinguisher to knock down the fire. And fire personnel did find several hotspots, and Tribal PD is now investigating. Stay in Yakima County as an 18-year-old has just learned his fate after leading police on a dangerous high-speed chase and injuring a sergeant in the process. Angel Omar Zuniga Soriano was sentenced to 12 years in prison for being a felon in possession of a firearm, plus 3 years of supervised release. Back in June, police say the teen affiliated with the Sereno Street Gang was behind the wheel of a vehicle linked to a robbery in Wapato just earlier that day. When a Toppenish officer tried to stop the car, Zuniga Soriano took off, leading officers on a high-speed chase. At one point, he fired a shot out of the driver's side window, and that's what injured a sergeant. Turning to a crime alert in northern Oregon, Hermiston police are warning the public to be cautious when buying vape products. Officers say a commercial burglary happened Friday and a large number of vape products were stolen, along with a clear countertop display case over 2 feet tall. Police say if you hear of someone selling vape products at suspiciously low prices and not through a legitimate business, report it to Hermiston Police. And in legislator news, Governor Bob Ferguson had a busy week signing more than 80 bills into law. The legislation covers a wide range of topics, including access to doulas for incarcerated patients, curbing gambling-related crime, and limiting when out-of-state National Guard troops can operate in Washington. Many of the new laws are designed to protect vulnerable communities and strengthen local control. And one of those newly signed laws is designed to break down barriers to employment. Senate Bill 5501 prohibits employers from requiring a driver's license unless driving is actually a part of the job. Supporters say the change could expand job access for thousands of Washingtonians, especially those who don't drive due to disability, age, or economic reasons. The law goes into effect next July. And a big congratulations goes out to 4 local heroes who just completed a life-changing mission. At the Benton County Justice Center, family, friends, and court officials gathered to celebrate 4 new graduates of the Veterans Therapeutic Court. The VTC began in 2019, and it offers veterans a second chance through a voluntary program that is focused on rehabilitation rather than incarceration.
I'm really proud. As a combat vet myself, I struggle with, mental health disorders just as well as they do, and we can work together and get through this mission together to overcome, mental health and or drug abuse.
The court was the vision of Judge Dan Catherine and former prosecutor Andy Miller, along with support from the Mattis family. Since joining the program 4 years ago, Torres has seen 20 veterans successfully graduate. Again, a big congrats to the latest 4. Proof with support, compassion, and determination, new beginnings are always possible. Well, she wanted to see it for herself. Now a U.S. representative is speaking out after visiting the Northwest Ice Processing Center. What she saw inside and why advocacy groups are raising alarms. That's coming up next. And I'll have your First Alert weather forecast as we trend warmer, then windier into this weekend. All that coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which will be back in just a moment.
Getting the home of your dreams is easy during the home makeover sale at Furniture Row. Find great deals on every sofa, every bed, and every dining group. Or get 60 months no interest financing. The home makeover sale on now at Furniture Row.
At Shriners Children's, we're home to the world's leading pediatric orthopedic care. Because so many life-changing advancements start here. We provide access to the best doctors and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. We're the first place to turn for the most common or complex orthopedic conditions. Home to possibility and empowering kids to achieve the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
At Bruce Heating & Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating & Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $4,500 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating & Air.
Get ready to feast at Legends Casino Hotel's ultimate all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Dive into fresh Dungeness crab, wild Columbia River salmon, juicy prime rib, and much more. Taste it all every Thursday and Saturday starting at 4 p.m.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
To all of these men, I want to say that football is not just a game, but a way of life.
Prosser Memorial Health reminds you to watch this year's MFL Draft. The draft begins Thursday on Apple Valley News Now. Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
It's the 30th anniversary sale at Denver Mattress. And that means 30% off all Doctor's Choice mattresses. Check out the Colorado Twin for only $149.99 or score 60 months no interest and free shipping. But hurry, the 30th anniversary sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of this morning's temperatures. And folks, it is cold out there as we're at 28 in Cle Elum, 32 in Ellensburg. Obviously not like the frigid stuff we saw back in February, but it's chilly. It could be a little bit frosty this morning in the Kittitas Valley. We could also see some of those frosty conditions up and down the Yakima Valley, as several of us are either at or below freezing. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, below freezing for the Tri-Cities, right around freezing for Hermiston and Boardman, and we're pretty close to that up in Franklin County as well. Then for the Blue Foothills, mostly too warm to have to break out the ice scraper this morning, except for in Heppner. That's where we are below 32, and 20s and 30s for some of the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains, places like Cabbage Hill, Meacham, the Battle Mountain Summit, and Ukiah. Here's your coatcast for today for the Tri-Cities. Light jacket stuff for this morning, and then t-shirt weather later today. Folks, it is going to be a superb day to be outside. We'll have lots of sunshine. High temperatures that'll be maybe in some instances a couple degrees above average for this time of the year. That means mid-60s in the Kittitas Valley and Blue Foothills, low 70s in the Yakima Valley and Lower Columbia Basin. We trend even warmer later this week. I'll tell you just how warm coming up in a few minutes. But now on to the news, as conditions inside the Northwest Ice Processing Center in Tacoma are facing new scrutiny following a visit from a U.S. representative. Advocacy groups have long raised concerns about medical care, isolation practices, and transparency at the facility. Now, that Congresswoman, Emily Randall, says she wanted to see those conditions for herself.
I've been to a county jail and I've been to a state prison before, and it looks a lot like those facilities.
Advocacy groups have shared concerns about conditions at the Northwest Ice Processing Center, including with medical access, solitary confinement, and transparency.
I wanted to come firsthand and get to, check some of the rumors that we've been hearing, understand what's happening here within these walls.
U.S. Representative Emily Randall visited the facility Tuesday. She said there are currently more than 1,300 detainees inside. That's more than double since November. Alfredo Juarez is one of the detainees, an undocumented union organizer who is living in Bellingham. He has no significant criminal history, and people have been protesting for his release.
Whose case is certainly inspiring people to think twice about whether or not they speak out against immigration policy, they speak out against labor violations.
Randall addressed medical care. She was told healthcare staffing was lower, but has since improved. Overall in the facility, there are 314 active staff members and around 40 vacancies.
While they maintain that they're able to do the work, I worry about, people's timely access to some of the services that are available.
Advocacy groups have voiced concern about irregular meal deliveries.
We did ask about that mealtime, and they seem to think they have worked through that challenge.
Randall said that's an issue she will continue to follow. When asked about how this privately owned facility will be held accountable, she said there are entities that provide oversight, but said leaders need to do their part too.
And I think we just have to keep watching, keep talking about what's happening, and ensure that we're using every tool.
Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, I'll tell you what weather to expect today and for the rest of the week as we're warming up. Then we have some winds to deal with for this weekend. So that's all going to be in my full first alert weather forecast, and that's coming up on the other side of the break.
When it comes to legal matters, you need someone you can trust. At Morphine Law Firm, we are sincerely grateful for the last 5 years of trust and support you've given our firm. Your trust and support have been a major driving force behind our mission for justice. We offer free consultations, and we may not always tell you what you want to hear, but we try to steer you in the right direction. We appreciate your continued trust and confidence in Morphine Law Firm.
Did you know Astria Health has the only team of neurosurgeons in the Lower Valley? Patients no longer need to travel long distances to receive the spine care they need. Patients with spinal tumors, stenosis, herniated or degenerative disc diseases, spine trauma, fractures, or spinal cord injury can be seen by an Astria neurosurgeon in Prosser, Sunnyside, or Zillah. Ask your primary care provider for a referral to one of our neurosurgeons. Astria Health, exceptional rural health care close to home.
To keep your home cool and comfortable all summer, your air conditioner needs maintenance this spring. Vance will inspect, test, and clean your AC so it's ready for hot weather. Don't take a chance. Call Vance.
It's time to lose your generic weather app. Scan this QR code to download the Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app. It's the app you need from the team you trust.
The Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app, only from Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
To all of these men, I want to say that football is not just a game, but a way of life.
Prosser Memorial Health reminds you to watch this year's NFL Draft. The draft begins Thursday on Apple Valley News Now. Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
Austin Reed is a television news leader with a passion for unique stories that have affected positive change for more than 20 years.
Get the best local news coverage every day, right here.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacy Lee, Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Here comes the judge.
Court come to order. All rise.
Judy rules the courtroom.
Hey, I would keep my mouth shut.
It's your daily moment of truth.
What an idiot.
Judy Justice.
In front of millions of people.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now. E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Extra, extra.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be a gorgeous day, just like yesterday was, but it's going to feel even nicer out there as we'll be a couple degrees above average for this time of year. Still pretty seasonal stuff. Lots of sunshine. We will have some breezes out of the north and west around out of the north and east around 20 to 30 miles per hour for the Blue Mountains, the Blue Foothills, and for the Lower Columbia Basin. So get out there and enjoy it. It's going to be a lovely day. And then for tonight, calm winds, clear skies, overnight lows, not as cold as what we're seeing for this morning, as they should be into the 30s and 40s for lower elevations, so you probably won't have to take those steps to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, or the plumbing. Like I said, pretty seasonal for today. Will be about 5 degrees above average for tomorrow, and we could touch 80 degrees for the first time this year in the Tri-Cities on either Friday or Saturday. A little bit cooler for Sunday through Tuesday, but still, in general, above average for this time of the year. And that little dip in temperatures happens mainly because of this storm system into Friday and Saturday, as the rain chances definitely aren't impressive, but there will be some chances for thunderstorms in the Blue Foothills and in the Blue Mountains. And the wind gusts that are going to come along with this are going to be something to write home about, specifically for Saturday and Sunday. And this is going to be the third weekend in a row in which we'll have strong northwesterly wind gusts in the Kittitas Valley. This time they could be up around 60 miles per hour. They could be up around 50 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. It looks like Sunday is probably going to be the more rowdy of these 2 days. We'll have some more time to tweak these details, but if this forecast holds true, we're going to be forced to go with the first alert weather day in the Kittitas Valley on Sunday. So definitely stay tuned for that. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dry and warming up near 80 into Friday. A small shower chance for Saturday, then slightly cooler after that. In Yakima, trending warmer with highs in the upper 70s for Friday and Saturday. Then some windy weather cools us off on Sunday. In Ellensburg, a small shower chance on Friday, then a string of windy days for Saturday through Tuesday. We're watching Sunday especially close. In Hermiston, breezy today, calmer and warmer Thursday and Friday, maybe a sprinkle for Saturday, then dry again after that. Then for Walla Walla, beautiful weather over the next couple days. Small thunderstorm chances Friday and Saturday, then maybe some additional shower chances Sunday through Tuesday. And coming up, the Tiger King is tying the knot again. We'll have the love story behind bars coming up after the break.
You've probably had a few close calls in traffic, seeing someone just before they see you, having to honk your horn, or even slam on your brakes. But if your luck runs out, don't gamble with the system. Play it safe and get legal help.
It's National Foot and Ankle Health Awareness Month. To avoid brittle nails and fungus, give your toenails frequent polish breaks. More at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Prosser Orthopedic Center podiatrist Dr. Jared Clifford is accepting new patients. This is how we care.
On behalf of STCU, we want to present you with this $1,000 check.
Sherelle Woods founded Love and Me 911 back in 2022. She became inspired to create a nonprofit that focuses on promoting body positivity and self-love.
So I called a couple of friends and I said, you know, I want to turn something that was meant for negative, I want to turn it into something positive.
STCU honors volunteers in our community. To nominate someone, click on Volunteers Count at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
In a world filled with accidents, the injured look to Mo because Mo knows these guys are bulldog tough on personal injury and workers' compensation claims. Mo knows you can go to the other guys, but why would you? From back in autumn, bulldog tough.
Feeling overwhelmed? It's time to shed your worries, literally. At Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds, we've got the perfect shed to clear the clutter, create space, and bring peace to your life. Man cave, playhouse, done. Want something custom? We'll build it just the way you want it. And we deliver for free. Spring is here. Shed the mess, shed the stress. See dealer for special pricing. Visit Columbia Basin Building and Sheds today, 3680 West Van Giesen in West Richland.
At US Cellular, you don't have to choose between a great deal on the phone you want and the phone plan that's right for you.
You can get both. 4 free phones of your choice and 4 lines for just $90.
Wow, kids, that's like us not having to choose between tickets to wrestling or that puppet musical.
We want a great phone and a great plan too, don't we, little guy?
Get both. 4 free phones of your choice plus 4 lines for $90. No trade-in needed. US Cellular, built for us.
Closed head and spinal injuries can bring anyone's active life to a sudden halt. Allen Brecky Law Offices help trauma victims on the road to recovery. We understand what you're going through and are serious about helping you.
Hello there. Watch Live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment news, sad news out of Hollywood as former child actress Sophie Nowida has died. According to her obituary, she passed away on April 14th at 24 years old. Nowida began acting at 6 years old and appeared in numerous television shows and films. The Burlington, Vermont native was most known for roles in Bella, Mammoth, and Noah. A cause of death was not released. WrestleMania 41 set a new attendance record and is now the most successful event in the history of World Wrestling Entertainment. The 2-day showcase drew more than 124,000 fans to Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. The iconic wrestling event was held on Saturday and Easter Sunday. On-site merchandise sales were also up more than 45%. Hospitality sales and packages also saw a 75% increase. WrestleMania 41 now beats the previous record set last year at WrestleMania 40. The Tiger King has a new wedding ring. Joseph Maldonado Passage, who starred in the reality show titled after his nickname, Joe Exotic, of course his nickname is Joe Exotic, but his other nickname is Tiger King. But anyway, that guy on your screen has tied the knot with Jorge Marquez. Both men are currently serving time in prison. Maldonado Passage posted a picture on social media Tuesday with Marquez saying, quote, "Never been more proud of someone." The Tiger King is serving a 21-year prison sentence after he was convicted in a murder for hire plot against an animal rights activist. Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, voters in Yakima had their say on a proposal that could change the way first responders communicate during emergencies. The results of Prop 1 are expected soon, and supporters say the stakes are high. Plus, a bill working its way through Olympia could pump the brakes on new specialty license plates, but not before adding a few more to the road. What designs might be coming, and why some say it's time to slow it down. But first,
like most people, my days are nonstop. When I'm working, I need to stay focused, not worried about my finances. That's why I went looking for a bank that makes managing my money effortless. Apple was exactly what I needed. Helpful people with easy-to-use tools. Now, I spend less time stressing about money and more time doing the things I enjoy. Where do you credit union?
If your bath has seen a lot of life, nobody gives it new life like Bath Fitter. Whatever shape your bath is in, Bath Fitter will transform it with an amazing number of styles and watertight walls that are grout-free and easy to clean. With 40 years of experience, Bath Fitter knows what people want. An affordable remodel that isn't just beautiful, it's guaranteed for life. When it's time to give your bath new life, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Knowing these laws sets my truck wreck team apart. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the Big Truck Heavy Hitter. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the knowledge and experience to get you paid everything you deserve. Hit by a big truck, our team knows truck wrecks and how to win for you. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the Big Truck Heavy Hitter.
The Heavy Hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
Spring savings continue with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. Pick up a copy in-store. Jumbo Pack Annuals are 2 for $7. Bi-Mart bagged weed and feed, lawn food, and fertilizer are $11.99 each. Save $2 on Purina Dog Chow. Stag Chili is 2 for $4. And Skippy Peanut Butter Twin Packs are $9.99. Plus, get ready for your outdoor recreation for less. From fishing to camping and more, Bi-Mart has you covered. Save through Monday, April 28th. Bi-Mart, since 1955.
Okay, y'all, we got 10 orders coming in.
Starting a business is never easy, but starting at 8 months pregnant, that's a different story. I couldn't slow down.
We were starting a business from the ground up.
People were showing up left and right, and so did our business needs. The Chase e-card made it easy. When you go for something big like this, your kids see that, and they believe they can do the same.
Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase with the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
It is Operation Best Friend every Wednesday as we feature lovable pets from area shelters all looking for their forever homes. Operation Best Friend from Christine Connolly, As You Wish Real Estate Services, and the Manthei Group Cross Country Mortgage.
Early warnings, accurate forecasts.
Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good Wednesday morning. I'm Josh Colbert, filling in for Jessica Jalal and Jade Elliott. Let's talk about everyone's favorite thing. Money, 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 money. Here's your 3-degree guarantee, sponsored by our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. Yesterday, I went with a forecast high of 66 in Pasco Tri-Cities. And if we could take that graphic full, yes, it verified right at 66. So the jackpot raised up $25 to $200 total. And so for today, the stakes are this as follows. Going with a forecast high of 71 in Pasco Tri-Cities. So a toast to your forecast. And if that verifies between 68 to 74, the jackpot's going to go up to $225. But if that doesn't happen, all $200 could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going over to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you could scan the QR code that is on your screen. Now what's on your screen is a live, beautiful look at Howard Amon Park. This view coming courtesy, once again, of our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. Lots of sunshine out there. And remember, yesterday morning we were tracking some visibility concerns up in the Cascades. That is not the case for this morning, but we'll continue to keep close tabs on it. Now, here's something that is not of concern, but definitely of interest for this morning in the forecast, as we're below freezing for Ellensburg, Yakima, Sunnyside, Tri-Cities, Hermiston. In those areas, it could be a little bit frosty. You might have to break out the ice scraper. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. Lots of sunshine, high temperatures getting up into the upper 60s to low 70s. We're going to be warmer compared to yesterday, even though this morning is actually colder compared to yesterday morning, but the afternoon is going to be warmer compared to yesterday afternoon. Just a superb day. What else is there to say about it? Get out there and enjoy it, and I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's very nice forecast coming up in a few minutes. But now we shift over to news, as Franklin County Sheriff is raising the alarm over a last-minute proposal that could shake up jail operations. And Sheriff Jim Raymond says a resolution on Wednesday's county commission agenda would immediately strip his office of control over the Franklin County Jail. The plan, introduced by the county administrator, would shift operations to a newly formed Department of Corrections. Raymond says the sheriff's office wasn't consulted, raising concerns about staffing authority and how order will be maintained inside the jail.
People of Pasco and the community needs to show up and tell the commissioners if they're for or against. It's the most ludicrous thing, and it's clearly just a shot over the bow at the office of sheriff. The county commissioners for a long time haven't liked that I've done my job and I've done it well, and they don't like that I'm outspoken.
Raymond also told us that if this is approved, it will cost taxpayers more money in the end. The meeting is scheduled for this morning at 9 at the Franklin County Administration Building. It's open to the public, and of course, Apple Valley News Now will be there to cover it. In your education news, although this school year isn't quite over yet, the Sunnyside School District is already looking ahead. The district is in the final phase of deciding the 2025-2026 school year calendar. And right now, a survey is open for community members to share feedback on 2 proposed options. Beside different start and end dates, Douglas Rogers, Director of Student Support Services, says the biggest difference comes down to the timing of school breaks.
One is the full week of Thanksgiving, so Monday through Friday off, and the other is Wednesday through Friday off. And it's really funny, both staff are split on this and parents are split on this. Some say, oh my gosh, great, a full week of Thanksgiving, this is awesome. Others say, gosh, do we have to have a full week? Can we just have the 3 days? So it's nice that we have both those options.
Rogers says they'll present the survey information to the board on Thursday, and from there they'll make a final decision on the new set calendar school year. In Your Voice, Your Vote, voters across several Washington counties cast their ballots in a special election last night, and in Yakima County, one measure could have a major impact on public safety. Lieutenant Ira Covin with the Yakima Police Department is voicing his support for Proposition 1, a proposal to modernize the county's emergency radio system. Covin says the current system is outdated and doesn't really allow first responders from different agencies to communicate effectively, something he says is critical during emergencies.
So what we're trying to do is figure out a way that the community can come together and fund a replacement for these systems that not only improves the coverage that we currently have within the county, but also builds redundancy and puts everybody in the county on one system.
If passed, the measure would mean a 0.2% sales tax increase. That's about 20 cents extra on a $100 purchase. The goal would be to raise $35 million for a unified emergency radio system. Supporters say the upgrade could make a critical difference during emergencies. And in Washington, we keep it in Washington, as lawmakers continue working through the state budget. They're also tackling a different kind of bill, one focused on Washington's growing collection of specialty license plates. Well, the bill would hit the pause button on implementing new specialty license plates, but not before approving up to 13 more, including designs for Mount St. Helens, pickleball, and my favorite, Smokey the Bear. With over 70 plates in place, there's concern about how many of them are popular enough to break even. The bill raises the cost around special plates while also spending money to establish a plate work group. The bill is broadly supported, but some plate holders have expressed concerns about how much money they get from plate sales.
This work group will establish different parameters in terms of how many signatures you need to gather to put a specialty license plate, what the amount of money that these groups can raise on these specialty license plates. I'd like to hope that it happens this year. Again, this has Senator Ramos's fingerprints all over it, and I'd like to be able to, pull this across the finish line, kind of as a tribute to him.
Even though there's only 5 days left in the regular session and a lot of other issues for legislators to resolve, some lawmakers say there's a very high likelihood the bill will make it through committee. A committee vote is not yet scheduled for the bill, a necessary step to move forward with just days before session ends. And Cafe Con Arte in Pasco is brewing up community with its new Coffee and Connections event. It's a fresh take on meeting new people in the Tri-Cities, a speed friendship making event. It's happening this Thursday at Cafe Con Arte, located at 430 West Columbia Street, Suite A in Pasco, from 5:30 to 7 p.m. The owner says, here's what you can expect if you decide to go.
Set up so it's a low risk. You start with a little bit of mingling for about 15-20 minutes at the very beginning, and then we have structured a kind of table to table, very much like speed dating, but it's its own thing. So people get to meet each other at a rapid pace until the end of the event, where there's going to be a little bit more mingling time afterwards.
If you're looking to attend, you do have to register online. You can find a link on AppleValleyNewsNow.com. Coming up, it's the best time of the week. We've got Operation Best Friend. And this pup is not just the reason to smile today, he could also be the one for you. We'll meet Hoobastank right after the break. And first, you're taking a live look at Richland. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. Thanks for waking up with Good Morning Northwest, where we're always on your side.
E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Extra, extra. Are you suffering with foot pain? Prosser Orthopedic Center podiatrist Dr. Jared Clifford is board certified and now accepting new patients. His services include arthroscopic ankle surgery, foot and ankle fractures, heel pain, diabetic foot care, and more. To schedule an appointment with Dr. Clifford or learn more about podiatry services at Prosser Orthopedic Center, call 509-786-5599 or visit prosserhealth.org.
At Fred's, not only do we guarantee the best prices, we prove it. Our live price card keeps things transparent, showing you real-time prices. No gimmicks, just the best prices on in-stock, get-it-today inventory. And when it comes to beating the big box stores, our prices aren't just competitive, they're unbeatable. Check out how we stack up. Whether it's this amazing new fridge or this energy-efficient dishwasher, Fred's prices are always the best. At Fred's, we sell appliances, only appliances.
Our number one service here at NIU Women's Clinic and Aesthetics is our weight loss program. Our program is really focused on a lifestyle change. We want our patients to be able to lose around 10 to 15 pounds of weight loss a month is what we see. But when they're done with us on the program, we want them to be able to keep that weight off. We don't want to see them yo-yo.
So I've lost about 40 to 50 pounds, and that's been over the span of 3 to 4 months. At my peak, I think I was losing probably 10 pounds a week. It was quite a bit, and I just noticed it was falling off of me.
So we are proud to announce that we are releasing a virtual weight loss program. What makes our program so successful for both men and women is the fact that we are treating exactly the reason why you're gaining this weight in the first place. By addressing your insulin insensitivity, your hormone balancing, your lifestyle, treating everything. We really focus on you and your needs.
Now open in Yakima. Go to newuwomensclinic.com to start your weight loss journey today.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid, meet the next generation of vehicles. It's the perfect time to get a Civic Hybrid, the 2025 North American Car of the Year. Hurry into your Honda dealer today.
It's time to lose your generic weather app. Scan this QR code to download the Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app. It's the app you need from the team you trust.
The Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app, only from Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Next live.
What's he going to say?
The always unpredictable Ricky Gervais.
I love doing stand-up, but standing up is the worst bit of it.
And Lisa Vanderpump from Hulu's Vanderpump Villa.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yesterday was a fantastic day to be outside, and today is going to be the exact same way. As we'll have plenty of sunshine, high temperatures that'll be mostly normal for late April. That means we'll be around 60 in the Cascades, mid 60s in the Kittitas Valley. Light winds here, also light winds in the Yakima Valley, mostly sunny skies. We'll have 69s and 68s up and down the valley. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, we'll have some breezes out of the north and east, mainly closer to Hermiston and the Gorge, but those winds will be up around 20 miles per hour, so pretty light breezes overall, and these highs up around 70 degrees. Then in the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains, these breezes a little bit stronger out of the north and east, around 30 miles per hour. Be in the mid to upper 60s in the Blue Foothills, and will be in the 50s in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains, places like Cabbage Hill, Meacham, the Battle Mountain Summit, and Ukiah. Now let's talk about the big picture, the reservoir levels that we're tracking in the Yakima Basin. And the smallest reservoir in the system is bumping, and so that's why we're seeing a surplus of water there. But unfortunately, for all of the largest reservoirs, Cle Elum, Catches, Keechless, Rimrock, we're about 25 to 35% below where we should be for this time of the year. But these numbers have really improved over the past few weeks with the melting of the snowpack up in the mountains. And it's Wednesday morning, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for Operation Best Friend. This segment is all about pairing you with your new best friend, a pet from a local shelter who's looking for their forever home. Today we have the Hoobastank, and he just might be the reason you fall in love today, with a big personality and an even bigger heart. So let's meet Hooba.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by As You Wish Houses, Christine Connolly Realtor, and by Manthite Group Cross Country Mortgage.
Hi everyone, my name is Monica, and this week for Operation Best Friend, I have brought Hoobastank from Tri-Cities Animal Services. Hoobastank is a 1-year, 8-month-old husky mix that came to us on February 20th of this year after a call came into animal control about a friendly large dog running around jumping on kids during recess. When the officer got close enough, he quickly realized that Hooba stunk. It appears that Hoobastank had a run-in with a skunk. We'll say that the skunk won that round with Hoobastank 0 and the skunk 1. He is what is called a piebald husky, which is a white base with dark spots. And he also has heterochromia, which is a fancy way to say he has 2 different colored eyes. Hoobastank is more of an alpha kind of guy. He would prefer to be in charge. However, we do think he could live harmoniously with other dogs with proper introductions, and possibly female dogs are more his thing. Hoobastank likes to play with toys from time to time, but he's such a people person, he wants to join you wherever you will take him. He is very loved by volunteers and staff, has quickly become one of our favorites in the short time that he has been with us. Hoobastank walks well on a leash. He does enjoy those long leisurely strolls by the river. And if you are interested in adopting a dog like Hoobastank, you don't need an appointment. You can stop by anytime during business hours, Tuesday through Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can view all of our animals on our website at www.tricitiesanimalservices.com. Hoobastank is ready to go home today, and you could be the reason that he has a home.
What a beautiful dog. All right, up next on Good Morning Northwest, we've got your morning sprint, everything you need to know before you head out the door this morning, and I'll be back with your full first alert forecast. Keep it here.
Seems like everyone's going country these days. Let me show you how it's done. Yep, that Nashville Hot Sweet Heat is here on my 100% all-white meat popcorn chicken starting at $5.99. Tastes good to go country. Get so much more.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Triple play! Triple play!
Wow! Rob even makes 2-pointers look cool!
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including go-karts, mini golf, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
Triple play!
Spring is in the air, so let's fill it with music. At Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos, our new beginning spring used piano sale is in full swing. From charming uprights to grand statement pieces, We've got gently loved pianos at prices that'll put a spring in your step. Each piano is expertly tuned, ready to play, and waiting for you. Spring into new beginnings today at Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos in Richland, because life's more fun when you know how to play.
Gather the family and come on down to the 62nd Annual Parade of Gems, April 25th through the 27th in the Modern Living Building at the Fairgrounds. Go back in time as we present fossils of the Northwest and beyond. See demonstrations on gold panning, wire wrapping, lapidary, and more. Dozens of vendors will be offering rock and mineral specimens and jewelry too. There will be games, door prizes, and more. Doors open at 10 a.m. Come one, come all to the 62nd Annual Parade of Gems, April 25th through the 27th at the Fairgrounds in Yakima.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing. You pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
And the princess never felt the pee as the Summit made for a perfect night's sleep.
What was it like before? Never a mattress?
30 years ago, getting a mattress was pretty scary. Middlemen hawked spring-filled slabs, hardly fit for a dog, at prices like you wouldn't believe. And you'd barely sleep, what with bad foam and even worse support. But then Denver Mattress came to town. They promised a better night's sleep, and they delivered. And it still holds true to this day. Denver Mattress. After 30 years, still the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Some people think going country is cheesy. I agree. Like deliciously cheesy. Yep, your favorite mozzarella sticks are back, now with that Nashville hot sweet heat, starting at $3.50. Get so much more under $4.
Welcome to Jock in the Box.
Hello there, watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Again, sort of the big point for today's forecast is that it's going to be a beautiful day out there again, just like yesterday was. But today is going to be even nicer because we'll be a little bit warmer. We'll be into the 60s and 70s for lower elevations, a couple degrees above average for late April. We'll have some winds out of the north and east around 20 to 30 miles per hour for the Blues, the Blue Foothills, and for the lower Columbia Basin. So get out there and enjoy it. And then for tonight, clear skies, calm winds, overnight lows down into the 30s and 40s. It's probably going to be a little bit too warm for lower elevations to have to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, or the plumbing. So like I said, pretty seasonal for today, about 5 degrees above average for Thursday, and then we'll have a shot on both Friday and Saturday to touch 80 degrees for the first time this year in the Tri-Cities. So that would be something, and then a little bit cooler for Sunday through Tuesday, but still generally above average for late April. Those temperatures go down for a reason, throwback to Hoobastank, but the reason would be this chance for showers into Friday and Saturday. Now, overall, small shower chances, but embedded within that for Friday and Saturday, a little thunderstorm chances for the Blue Mountains and the Blue Foothills. We'll certainly keep a close eye on that, but the biggest impact from this storm system easily going to be the winds for Saturday and Sunday. Look at this, out of the north and west around 60 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, around 50 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. Now, this is an early forecast. These numbers are subject to change, but if this forecast holds, it might force our hand to issue a first alert weather day in the Kittitas Valley for Sunday, so we'll definitely keep a very close eye on that. But also, if this forecast holds, we could see spotty power outages, down tree limbs, difficult travel for high-profile vehicles. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dry and warming up near 80 into Friday, a small shower chance for Saturday, and slightly cooler after that. In Yakima, trending warmer with highs in the upper 70s for Friday and Saturday, and then some windy weather cools us off on Sunday. In Ellensburg, a small shower chance on Friday, then a string of windy days for Saturday through Tuesday, and we're watching Sunday especially close, like we just talked about. In Hermiston, breezy today, calmer and warmer Thursday and Friday, maybe a sprinkle for Saturday, then dry again after that. And then for Walla Walla, beautiful weather over the next couple days, small thunderstorm chances Friday and Saturday, then maybe some additional shower chances Sunday through Tuesday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a close call caught on camera.
I was like, oh my God, I didn't know where to go.
Lisa Davis says she was walking down the street, pushing her grandkids in a stroller when concrete and debris shot into the air. Panic setting in as another manhole cover blew up off camera in front of her.
I couldn't really run straight ahead of me to the corner because the manhole at the next corner blew up too.
The Poughkeepsie Fire Department finding 3 ruptured manholes within one city block. Luckily, no one was injured. Officials are investigating the cause of the explosions, but say high levels of carbon monoxide were detected in the area.
Total shock. Like, I still feel shock.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more on this harrowing close call. With your GMA First Look, I'm Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Living with your albuterol asthma rescue inhaler? It's a bit of a dinosaur because albuterol only treats symptoms, not inflammation. Asthma experts support rescue that treats both symptoms and inflammation. It's time to replace your rescue with Air Supra. Air Supra is the first and only dual-action asthma rescue inhaler FDA approved to treat symptoms and help prevent asthma attacks. Welcome to the modern age of dual-action asthma rescue. Air Supra should not be used as a maintenance treatment for asthma. Get medical help right away if your breathing doesn't improve or worsens, or for serious allergic reactions like rash, mouth or tongue swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing, or chest pain. Using Air Supra more than prescribed could be life-threatening. Serious side effects include increased risk of thrush or infections, or heart problems like faster heart rate and higher blood pressure. Break free from albuterol-only rescue. Ask your doctor about Air Supra, a dual-action rescue inhaler for asthma.
Now, the morning sprint.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your national headlines this morning, the Cardinals will determine the start of the conclave that will choose the next pope. And there's already plenty of talk about who the top contenders might be. The field of candidates is considered to be more wide open thanks to reforms made by Pope Francis. The composition of the body to elect a successor is now more representative of the worldwide church. 70-year-old Italian Cardinal Pietro Parolin is seen as a top contender who could appeal to both conservatives and progressives. He was France's second in command and the current Vatican Secretary of State. In your business headlines this morning, get your Temu and Shein orders in now before the Chinese e-commerce sites raise prices. The companies recently issued notices they are set to make price adjustments starting April 25th. It's due to President Donald Trump's recent tariffs imposed on goods from China. China is the largest clothing importer to the United States, so these tariffs will most likely raise the cost of most clothing, according to trade policy experts and economists. In your health headlines this morning, social media appears to be losing some of its charm among younger generations. 48% of teenagers say online platforms have a mostly negative effect on their peers, according to a Pew Research Center survey. That's an increase of 16% compared to 2022. Only 11% say social media is mostly positive for young men and women. 44% of teens also say they're now spending less time on the platforms and on their smartphones in general. In your sports headlines this morning, more changes for the Seattle Kraken have been announced as Ron Francis will become the president of hockey operations after previously serving as the executive vice president and general manager since 2019. Having served previously as the assistant general manager, the new general manager and executive vice president is Jason Bottrell. This comes after the team announced parting ways with head coach Dan Bylsma. And in your top 5 local stories, we start off in Yakima County as an 18-year-old has learned his fate after leading police on a dangerous high-speed chase and injuring a sergeant in the process. Angel Omar Zuniga Soriano was sentenced to 12 years in prison for being a felon in possession of a firearm, plus 3 years of supervised release. Back in June, police say the teen, affiliated with the Sereno street gang, was behind the wheel of a vehicle linked to a robbery. When a Toppenish officer tried to stop the car, Zuniga Soriano took off, leading officers on a high-speed chase. At one point, he fired a shot out of the driver's side window, and that's the shot that injured a sergeant. Franklin County Sheriff is raising the alarm over a last-minute proposal that could shake up jail operations. We spoke with Sheriff Jim Raymond, and he says a resolution on Wednesday's county commission agenda would immediately strip his office of control over the Franklin County Jail. The plan, introduced by the county administrator, would shift operations to a newly formed Department of Corrections. The meeting is scheduled for this morning at 9 at the Franklin County Administration Building. A newly signed law is aiming to break down barriers to employment, as Senate Bill 5501 prohibits employers from requiring a driver's license unless driving is actually a part of the job. Supporters say the change could expand job access for thousands of Washingtonians, especially those who don't drive due to disability, age, or economic reasons. The law goes into effect next July. And a bill focused on Washington's growing collection of specialty license plates would hit the pause button on implementing new specialty license plates, but not before approving up to 13 more with over 70 plates in place. There's concern about how many of them are popular enough to even break even. The bill raises the cost around special plates while also spending money to establish a plate work group. And Cafe Con Arte in Pasco is brewing up community with its new Coffee and Connections event. It's a fresh take on meeting new people in the Tri-Cities, a speed friendship making event, and it's happening this Thursday at, again, Cafe Con Arte, located at 430 West Columbia Street, Suite A in Pasco, from 5:30 to 7 p.m. And now let's go ahead and talk about the weather. A last look at your forecast as you're headed out the front door. We'll go ahead and take a look at visibility out there, as it is good across the map. Remember, yesterday morning we were seeing some tough reductions in visibility up towards Snoqualmie Pass. That is just not the case for this morning. So we're not really tracking any fog, but we are tracking some frosty conditions, as we are either at or below freezing for the Kittitas Valley, the Yakima Valley, for portions of the lower Columbia Basin. So in those areas, you might have to break out the ice scraper. Also, it's pretty cold up in the Cascades and Blues with temperatures in the 20s and 30s. So also it could be a little frosty up that way as well. Here's your forecast for today. Another gorgeous day, folks. Get out there and enjoy it, as we'll have lots of sunshine. High temperatures getting up into the 60s and 70s. Will be a couple degrees above average for this time of the year. That means mid 60s for the Kittitas Valley and Blue Foothills, low 70s for the Yakima Valley, the lower Columbia Basin, and yeah, that about sums up all the microclimates within our viewing area. Here's the bottom line for the forecast. We'll be warming up as we head into Friday. Could maybe touch 80 degrees in the Tri-Cities on either Thursday or Friday, or excuse me, Friday or Saturday. But after that, we'll cool off, as we'll have some small shower and thunderstorm chances for both Friday and Saturday. But even though we'll be cooler, we're not going to be cool, as we'll still have highs that'll be above average for this time of the year. And we're tracking some very strong wind gusts this weekend. Again, in the Kittitas Valley, that would make it the third weekend in a row. All right, thank you for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find the latest on these stories at AppleValleyNewsNow.com. Good Morning America is up next, and we'll be back with the local news and weather tonight at 5. Have a great day.